start off with the first item, which is the speaker for today, and I'm asking Jane Timms to introduce the speaker. Just a moment, I've got a few more in the audience. Come in, please. Can you introduce?
Yeah. Welcome everyone. Good to see you all here.
Thanks.
We've got a few new faces again, which is lovely. I'd like to introduce David Cummington, who is a sleep specialist, and he's going to give us a detailed talk about sleep and its effect on everyone, I imagine, but especially for people with a scar. Okay, thank you.
So thank you very much. I'm going to talk to you a bit about sleep, and I'm going to talk about some things that are specific to scar, but spend a bit of time just explaining how sleep works, and then hopefully it'll make sense to you that how some of the problems that come up with scar can occur in sleep. And this is very informal, so if you've got questions to ask, just interrupt me, ask me questions. I'm happy to take questions and things. But you've got to bear in mind I'm not a neurologist, so I'm far from an expert on scar. Sleep is my area. Okay, so the thing we're going to talk about is just how sleep works, and try and show then how it might relate to scar. And I have in particular in mind scar 1, but it applies to all the different subtypes of scar, and talk about some common sleep problems. Right, I find sleep is just a great area in medicine to work in because everyone's got an opinion about sleep. You know, for example, you guys know if you've got scar, the person over the fence doesn't tell you how to treat your scar. They say go and see a neurologist. But if you've got a sleep problem, the person over the fence tells you what to do. Everyone has an opinion about sleep. Everyone in society thinks they know about sleep and has got a remedy for sleep. And people have tried all manner of different things before they'll seek medical advice. So, you know, through society, lots of societies have different views about sleep, and often it has religious connotations. Through the medieval ages, Europeans have a lot of sleep phenomenon developed a lot of religious connotations, like the incubus and the succubus and the Catholic Inquisition. And it's always been thought up until the start of this century that sleep's a passive process. You just quietly go to sleep, and there's merry fairies and other things. And if anything bad happens at night, well, it's got to be an evil, some sort of evil doing, because otherwise sleep is just this process where everything stops. But that's not true. It's not true. But that was medical belief and is still societal belief up until very recently. Now, what we know now is that for sleep to work, for us to be able to go to sleep, we need all of these parts of the brain to be talking to each other and working together. And for us to be able to stay awake, we need all of these parts of the brain to be working together and talking to each other. And for wake and sleep to work in that we stay awake for 16 hours and then transition into sleep for 8 hours, you've got to have all these bits of the brain talk to all these bits of the brain, and vice versa. And the relevance to scar is that, this is the parts of the brain I'm talking about. These are the parts of the brain that are affected in scar. Come in.
Thank you. Start on going.